Disclaimer. In the course of making Book of Dawn, our team needed to operate on a set of working hypotheses to conceptualize what was and wasn't allowed by the rules of the Kingdom Hearts universe. This video is our working theory on the nature of the worlds of Kingdom Hearts. This theory contains spoilers for every game in the series chronologically. You have been warned.
It's a selfie stick!
Oh! We're cool! Where's mine?
Throughout the Kingdom Hearts universe, there are many worlds with their own populace and fantastic places to see. But worlds are more than just unique locations for the game to take place in. You see, worlds are like people in the Kingdom Hearts sense. They have a body and a heart. A sentient force that powers everything that a person is, or that a world is. Worlds are the planetoid objects in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Once all united as one before the Great Keyblade War of Union Cross, then separated and rebuilt by the hearts of children, as the story goes. These hearts of the worlds, these powerful forces, are desired by the Heartless, and they can be protected from the Heartless by a keyhole, and by the keyhole being sealed by Keyblades. However, worlds also have another line of defense, a gummy block barrier that surrounds each world, though usually invisible. If the heart of the world or its keyhole are tampered with, that gummy block barrier begins to break down and rain down onto the surface of the world. Worlds can also travel between the realms, for if the heart of a world falls to the Heartless, so too does the world get consumed and fall into the realm of darkness by a World Eater, as seen here. Also, after the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, when all of the worlds consumed by the Heartless were freed, some did not wake up even after being restored. Those worlds traveled to the realm of sleep, such as Prankster's Paradise and Cide de los Coques. In today's video, I want to create a timeline of all of the worlds in the Kingdom Hearts series, throughout each game and each appearance. I want to put together this timeline to show, chronologically from beginning to where we are now, where each world falls, what worlds are canon to Kingdom Hearts, and what events are canon to each world. Because it's an important distinction, unfortunately, in this franchise of what events actually happen and are remembered by the characters in the Realm of Light. Those are what we will refer to as canon world events. These actually happen chronologically as they do in the Realm of Light, where everyone involved remembers. Then we have non-canon world events. These are projections, these are memories of, these are sleeping worlds, things where the characters, some of which it is canon and happening for, however others could be fake projections or the memories of this person experiencing the story as it happens currently as we see in the game, but not actually what happened in that world at that time. So, that's a lot. I gotta admit, that's a lot and a big task. Let's see if we can actually get that done today. So follow me, and we'll get started. Starting off with our first game, Kingdom Hearts Key. This is the story of the United World. Back before the Keyblade War, all was one, united whole. All the worlds of fairy tales that we know now as Disney worlds were all united as one, with everyone and everything happening all at the same time. Now, because everything was one united globe, it's kind of hard to get places, which is why the fairy tale worlds that we see in Key and Union Cross are all projections, are datascapes of these places that really exist. These are the 5 most popular worlds during this time, which you'll see come up several times in other games. That's Dwarf Woodlands, Wonderland, Agrabah, Beast Castle, and Olympus Coliseum. You'll see these 5 again. But those are all projections. And though we have the United Whole, there's only one location we really see that exists in the Realm of Light during the events of Key, and that is Daybreak Town. Moving right along to our next game is Union Cross. This takes place after the Keyblade War, in which we add 4 new datascapes and 1 real world. The first world that we know of that still exists in the Realm of Light is the Keyblade Graveyard, that where the Dandelion leaders meet. But these 4 new datascapes, they fall into 2 categories, 2 of which are not considered canon in my mind, as they are again just projections of future events, and that's Castle of Dreams and Enchanted Dominion. However, we do have 2 datascapes where the events, I believe, are canon and actually happening. Though datascapes technically do and don't exist in the Realm of Light, but that's beside the point. First of all, we have Data Daybreak Town, and then we have Game Central Station, which is our one unique and actually happening and chronologically canon Disney World, which is a really good story. But that's all we got for Union Cross. Next up, well, we have an interesting case, because this is where I would have talked about Missing Link if it actually happened. But unfortunately, we had Missing Link get cancelled. And because of that, we're not really sure how everything would have panned out with how it would have used Disney World content. And it's such a shame, because if you, the audience out there, if you know what the leaked list of worlds was going to be, it was going to be pretty cool. But how they would have used worlds, I'm not sure. We definitely have one real world that we would have had, which would have been Scala at Kylum. The same from the end of Union Cross. However, the Disney worlds would have been accessed through the astral plane. Maybe would have been connected to the worlds of unreality, but who's to say? I would have loved to have seen different Disney worlds, such as the Sword and the Stone, or maybe finally put Jungle Book in here. Anything would have really been amazing, but whether it would have been canon or non-canon world events, we don't know. What worlds would you like to have seen in Missing Link? Let us know down below. Next up, we move on to Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, which is where we hit a very interesting development in how the hearts of the worlds reformed. As, at this time, we get a discussion on our first mission to Agrabah. Depending on who you have in your party, you still get the same context. Worlds are restored at their own rates, and time does not begin to flow until everyone and everything, every heart, has been reborn into that world. Therefore, if the entire Disney cast is not present in a world, it is likely that the events are not canon, as the time has not begun to flow for that world yet. Which is, a convenient excuse for having, the Queen of Hearts be alive 70 years prior to Kingdom Hearts 1. So, they have a little rule in Scala at Kylum that, you're not supposed to, like, inference that other worlds exist, because you don't know if those events are going to be canon and actually matter or not. That's where we get World Order. World Order is as a term that comes up again and again in the series, which is just protect the illusion that this is the only world that exists, because you don't want to, like, blow the minds of its inhabitants in case time has started to flow. Now, because of this, each of the 5 worlds of Disney worlds that we have for Dark Road, they are all real, but are the events canon? Do the characters remember? I believe one of them is, but which do you think is real? We have the same 5 worlds from Key and Union Cross, be that Dwarf Woodlands, Wonderland, Agrabah, Beast Castle, and Olympus Coliseum. However, Olympus Coliseum is just the Underworld section. And I believe that Underworld is canon. I mean, the gods are immortal, so Hades could very well remember having met the cast. Outside of that, though, we do have real and unique worlds that exist, with Scala at Kylum not the same as Missing Link Scala at Kylum, and how those 2 Scalas transition between, we're not sure. Maybe they're just different islands on the same world. Unfortunately, we don't have that answer. But we also have Destiny Islands being present here as well. The world that young Xehanort is actually, well, I would say is from, but he came from Scala to Destiny, back to Scala, so we'll see. That's about it for Dark Road. Before we get into Birth by Sleep, we have quite a lot to talk about, actually. Because prior to Birth by Sleep, we have to go over kind of some context clues. We know that Mickey is an apprentice by the time that Birth by Sleep takes place, which means that every other Mickey World appearance still has to happen prior to that. Which means that Timeless River, County of the Musketeers, and Mysterious Tower, specifically the Fantasia Sorceress Apprentice period, all of those have to happen, as well as the establishment of Disney Town and Disney Castle. Outside of that, I would also put Merlin here, and the Sword in the Stone, and the birth of the 100 Acre Woods storybook world. Those 2 also have to happen around this time, prior to Birth by Sleep. But, that being said, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. In this game, all worlds are canon and happen chronologically, which is a first for this timeline. But we do have a lot of unique worlds that happen, be that the Land of Departure, which is also Castle Oblivion, Radiant Garden, Destiny Islands, the Keyblade Graveyard makes another appearance here, and the Mirage Arena. And then we also have quite a good roster of Disney worlds. I mean, we do have, as I mentioned, Disney Castle appearing here. Well, Disney Town. They're one and the same. Disneyland, let's call it that. But we also do have Worlds of the Princesses, be that Dwarf Woodlands, Castle of Dreams, and Enchanted Dominion. Then we also have 100 Acre Woods, because that does appear inside of Radiant Garden. Then we also have Deep Space, Olympus Coliseum, once more, and Neverland. So it's a pretty great roster of worlds, and why Birth by Sleep is one of my favorite games of all time. Moving on from Birth by Sleep, we do have 0.2, which I'll just slide in here. 0.2, chronologically here, just talking about Aqua's journey in the Realm of Darkness, it's the Realm of Darkness. There are no worlds of light here. But it is interesting to see the hearts of worlds having fallen to darkness as Aqua traverses through the princess worlds from Birth by Sleep once more, but this time as one kind of united, amalgamated whole inside Dark World, the title name of the Realm of Darkness. I will add real quick here though, you could argue that Deep Jungle as a world takes place around this time, as Deep Jungle was originally planned and was cut content that you can still find in the files of Birth by Sleep. So, maybe that's where this happens. Prior to Kingdom Hearts 1, we, once again, have a lot to talk about because a lot happened. In the in-between of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 1, Ansem the Wise created a datascape known as the Grid. And then Apprentice Xehanort copied that system, modified some things to create Space Paranoids, another datascape. And then after the fall of Radiant Garden, likely attacked by Heartless of some variety or something, and the deaths of, and the nobodyification of many of its cast, we know that Xemnas likely formed the organization in the world that never was. As well here, we have some context clues of other worlds that fell to darkness. Be that the Lady and the Tramp, as we've seen, they have a statue of Lady and Tramp in 3rd District Traverse Town. As well, speaking of dogs, we have the 101 Dalmatians, who are refugees in Traverse Town. We also have the fall of Prankster's Paradise and La Cité de Cloques, as we know those worlds are still asleep during the events of Dream Drop Distance. But as well, another clue of worlds that exist is the Kingdom Hearts 1 summons. Bambi, Dumbo, Simba, and Mushu, all of which are turned into summon gems when their worlds fall to darkness, which means that their worlds existed at this time and were consumed by Heartless. And now we can talk about Kingdom Hearts 1. Huh! A lot's brought us to this point for the first game in the series. But the good thing is, all events here are canon and chronological, which is cool because we have a lot of really fun worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1. Of unique worlds, we have Destiny Islands, Traverse Town, which Traverse Town is just really cool on its own because it pulls in people from worlds consumed by darkness, which is a really neat ability. Then also we have Hollow Bastion, which is still Radiant Garden, and 100 Acre Wood. For other Disney worlds, we have Wonderland, Deep Jungle, Olympus Coliseum. We have Agrabah and Halloween Town, Atlantica and Monstro, Neverland. It's such a stacked cast of worlds for the first game. We were also going to have Toy Story be present here, as they were originally planned a Buzz and Woody summon. So whether or not Toy Story 1 takes place at this point in the timeline is up to interpretation. However, we do have the interesting case of the end of the world. The end of the world is the final world in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it is the shreds of all of the worlds that have been consumed by darkness and the little fragments that still exist in the Realm of Light. However, it's an interesting case because, as I feel the interpretation to be, the end of the world kind of fluctuates between being in the Realm of Light and being in the Realm of Darkness, especially that first area that we travel through, where you're on the surface of these very small little pieces of land, which then inverts, and now you're in the Realm of Darkness in the same path, which is a very interesting concept. Outside of that, we do have one more world within Kingdom Hearts 1, and we still don't know what it is. I call it the World of the Unknown Crossroads. The crossroads at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1 and the start of Chain of Memories. It's unclear if this is a part of Disney Castle / Disney Town, which is what it looks like, or if it's part of some other world. We don't know. Where do you think this world is, and what is it connected to? That's it for Kingdom Hearts 1. Speaking of, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is pretty simple. We have two worlds to talk about. As just mentioned, there's the World of the Unknown Crossroads where we start our game, and then everything else takes place inside of Castle Oblivion. Even though it looks like there are other worlds, these are all memory recreations of these other places inside the castle. It's kind of the ability of Castle Oblivion. To find is to lose, you know? So all of your memories of places you've been are projected onto the walls of each floor of the castle. And you progress through your memories, and they, you might lose those memories, or maybe that's just Sora. Who's to say? But it makes this timeline incredibly simple. 2 worlds. Moving on. Next up, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Another game where all the worlds are canon and chronological, but the selections are pretty interesting. As far as original worlds go, we have The World That Never Was, Twilight Town, Destiny Islands, and Castle Oblivion. Some of the best in the series. As well, for Disney worlds, we have 4 of our original key selections, be that Wonderland, Agrabah, Beast Castle, and Olympus Coliseum. But then we shake things up by also adding Neverland and Halloween Town, which is just really cool to me. Then at the end of 358, we also have the addition of the Twilight Town datascape that we start with in Kingdom Hearts 2. Moving right along, we finally have Kingdom Hearts 2, in which all worlds are canon and chronological, which is great because we have a ton of them to talk about. First we have the Twilight Town datascape and the real Twilight Town. Then we have the Mysterious Tower, Destiny Islands, Hollow Bastion / Radiant Garden, and the 100 Acre Wood storybook within it. Also within Hollow Bastion, we have the Space Paranoids datascape. And then we have Disney Castle, which moves us right into the Disney World selection. As far as Disney worlds for Kingdom Hearts 2, there are, once again, quite a lot. We start off with Land of Dragons and Beast Castle and Olympus Coliseum. Moving right along, we have Atlantica and Port Royal, and Agrabah, Halloween Town, Pride Lands. Then you can also say the world of Chicken Little happens here because he's a summon that Sora uses in Kingdom Hearts 2. Outside of that, we have the worlds of the Endgame, in which we have the World That Never Was, and for some post-game content, we also have the Keyblade Graveyard, where we kind of portal to and fight the Lingering Will. But outside of all of that, there is one last world that I haven't talked about yet, and that's Timeless River. Because what is Timeless River? Merlin denotes it as being actual time travel, but this is time travel before the definition of it in Dream Drop Distance, so whether or not it canonically happens back then in the timeline or not, I don't really know, because this is a kind of time travel with the doors that doesn't happen ever again. So, I don't know. I guess it is time travel if Merlin says it is, so sure. Not really at this point in the timeline, but back there. I just saved it for right now because I really didn't know how to feel. The next entry in our timeline comes from Kingdom Hearts Recoded, in which the only canon world events happen in Destiny Islands, Disney Castle, and the Mysterious Tower. Everything else takes place inside the datascape of Jiminy's Journal, which once again has an interesting selection of Disney worlds, though they're all datascapes. Though you could argue that it's all just Jiminy's Journal is the datascape, I'm not sure how the rules of that work. Anyway, we have Data, Destiny Islands, Traverse Town, Wonderland, Agrabah, Beast Castle, and Hollow Bastion. Not to mention the post-game content of Castle Oblivion. At some point in between the events of Kingdom Hearts Recoded and the events of Dream Drop Distance, there are the entirety of Twooey, or The World Ends With You. This game and the content and story has to take place sometime prior to the events of Dream Drop Distance, because Joshua is present and denotes that the story has already happened. Next up, it's time for Kingdom Hearts 3. D, that is. Dream Drop Distance. And this is a bit of an interesting case, because we only have 2 worlds that canonly and chronologically take place in the Realm of Light, and that's the Mysterious Tower and Disney Castle. However, we do have a 3rd world where there are canon events, but because of time travel, it's not chronological. Because during the prologue of Dream Drop Distance, Sora and Riku travel back in time to Destiny Islands on the night of its fall. They also encounter Phantom Ursula, which the current running theory is that either A, Phantom Ursula is a time traveler from after her defeat in Kingdom Hearts 2, a la Maleficent, or she is a construct either made by Ansem Seeker of Darkness or Yen Sid for the sake of this test. That being said, all other events take place in the realm of sleep, and our sleeping worlds in this game are Traverse Town, La Cité des Cloques, Prankster's Paradise, the Grid, which is dubiously considered real by young Xehanort, though it's unclear if he's just messing with Sora or not. Then we also have County of the Musketeers, Symphony of Sorcery, and The World It Never Was, which is also considered dubiously real at one or two separate occasions. Who's to say? Jumping back into point 2, Birth by Sleep Fragmentary Passage, we do have the chronological Mysterious Tower events, where the story is being told to Riku and Kairi. Outside of that, prior to Kingdom Hearts 3, mainly because Kingdom Hearts 3 deals with a lot of sequel stories or stories that take place in between different Disney films, we do have to say that at some point before Kingdom Hearts 3, the events of Monsters University, Monsters Inc., Big Hero 6, and Pirates of the Caribbean 2 all have to take place. Then, as well, the events of Toy Story 1 and 2 have to happen, because as Nomura stated, the events of Kingdom Hearts 3's Toy Box world happen in between Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. No D, just Kingdom Hearts 3, for real this time. And it's a bit of an interesting case because most of the events of the game take place in the Realm of Light, chronologically, but not all of them. And we do have quite a lot of worlds to talk about. I mean, we have the Mysterious Tower, Twilight Town, Radiant Garden, and the Keyblade Graveyard. Then, as far as Disney worlds go, we have 100 Acre Wood, we have Disney Castle, we have Olympus, Kingdom of Corona, Toy Box, as split in two by young Xehanort, Monstropolis, Arendelle, the Caribbean, San Francisco, and then moving back into more original worlds, we have Castle Oblivion, as it's then restored to be the Land of Departure, and Destiny Islands. It is important to note here that Scala at Kylum that we visit in the game is not the real Scala, because we access it through Xehanort's Dream Gate. Therefore, it's just his memories of that world. And as well, we have the final world, which the final world is denoted as being something beyond the realm of sleep, beyond the station of waking. So, is it really a world even though that's in its name, or is it something else? I'm not sure. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. And this one's pretty simple, because the only world events that are canon to the Realm of Light take place in Mysterious Tower and Radiant Garden. Everything else, for the most part, takes place inside of Kairi's heart, as she relives Sora's memories and those of people attached to his heart. Ultimately, her story does wrap up in a memory recreation of the final world, and then we also have a flashback of her childhood in Radiant Garden, as mentioned. But outside of that, everything is just reliving music and worlds from across the Kingdom Hearts timeline. Except then the very, very end of the game, we visit the real final world. Which again, is the final world really even a world? And I'm pretty sure the final world is not in the Realm of Light, so not really canon world events in the part that we're talking about today. Moving back to Union Cross, for some added context, we have a lot of medals that exist in the game for worlds we've never seen before in the Kingdom Hearts timeline. So where and when these worlds take place is up for debate, but I would love it if all, or at least most of them, are canon. Now, what medals am I talking about? We've seen medals for Coco, The Incredibles, Zootopia, Moana, Onward, Soul, Jungle Book, and even the DuckTales newer animated series. Now, most of these are ones I would love to see. However, how DuckTales could be canon when we already have Huey, Dewey, and Louie all present is up for debate. Whew! Well, guys, we did it! We went through every game in the series, including Missing Link, RIP, and we've put everything in a timeline of where everything sort of lines up, and I gotta say, I'm really happy with this. This is awesome! It's also a lot of work. The script for this one was 4 pages long. And I kept adding new details, even when I was recording this for you guys. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Would you have ordered some things differently? Again, from previous questions in the video, what worlds would you love to have seen in Missing Link? Or what other worlds would you have loved to see in any of the games we've talked about today? But that about wraps it up. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications so you stay tuned on everything we have in store for you. And until next time, later Keybladers!